one of our books, Hoodoo People, we're the first to show the proper etymology of the term hoodoo. So in the Akhan language, the term umdu means medicine from roots and trees and plant life. Umdu also means to become heavy with the spirit through spirit possession, spirit communication. So we came to renounce the term umdu. So in the Asante Akhan dialect, that's umduru. In the Akwamu Akhan dialect, it's umdu. And we continue to use the term umdu, meaning medicine from roots, trees, plant life, that's root work and so forth. But umdu also means to become heavy with the spirit through spirit possession, spirit communication. So when we say we're heavy with the spirit and so forth, spirit comes down, it descends upon the person. That's the umdu, that's the heaviness. We show that in the Akhan language. We still use it exactly the way in the Hoodoo tradition in North America as we use it in the Akhan language, linguistically as well as cosmologically. Then we trace it to the language of ancient Khanid and Kemet, and you'll find that umdu means medicine from roots and trees and plant life, and umdu also means to become heavy, heaviness and so forth, and the term for spirits are the hoodoo spirits. That's a term for spirits. It's also a term for offerings, ritual offerings in ancient Kemet. And we show them due to the hieroglyphs to prove that. So in ancient Kemet we call umdu, that's a term for deities, umdu spirits. We call umdu the offerings we give on the altar table in the language of ancient Kemet. We give the umdu. The term for plant life, mineral life, and so forth is umdu. The term for to become heavy is umdu. That's in ancient Khanid and Kemet. And we migrated west to the regions of today's Ghana and Ivory Coast. We continue to say umdu means medicine from roots, trees, plant life. Umdu means to become heavy with the spirit. Umdu also has to do with weight and gravity and all these different things, but it's also having to do with root work, conjure, and so forth. So we go into detail about that with the term hoodoo or umdu. The term conjure, they'll say that we just were pronouncing an English term. The term kanche in the Akhan language means to speak or utter incantations to bring the spirits forth. Ka means to speak, utter, say, or tell in the Akhan language. Achen means to bring the spirits forth. So achen means to come forward, as in the coming forward of the sun. So when someone says ma ache, that means ma means give, and achen means dawning or the coming forward of the sun. That's saying good morning. Say ma ache, I give you achen, meaning I give you dawning, the coming forward of the sun. The light is dawning, and so forth. Kan che means to utter incantations, ka, to make the spirits, che, come forward. When the sun rises from the quote-unquote underworld and it manifests above the surface and so forth, it brings light and vitality, it brings illumination, but it also brings power and energy to revitalize us. When we invoke the divinities, when we invoke the forces in nature and so forth, they bring us illumination to illumine our path so we can get on the right track and not make mistakes that are self-destructive and cause problems for ourselves individually as well as the community. But they also empower us. They give us illumination, wisdom, direction. They light the path so we don't make mistakes. It's like a light in the darkness. Moonlight can allow you to navigate your way without running into toxic animals or getting hurt and so forth. You need illumination to walk your path straight. So they bring illumination, enlightenment and so forth. Literally enlightenment, but also energy and vitality. Spirit possession leads to enlightenment or illumination, but also vitalization. So ka meaning to speak, utter, say, or tell, and achen meaning to bring the spirits forward, as in the coming forward of the sun. Ka che means to utter incantations to bring the spirits forward. So when we say we're a kanje man or kanje woman, kanje man, kanje woman, they were saying, they're trying to say the English word conjure, but they're just mispronouncing it and saying kanche. But these are two terms in Akhan that's a compound term, ka and che. And to prove that further, we show in the book that ka in ancient Kemet, in the Medutu and the hieroglyphs, means to speak, utter, say, or tell, and che means to come forward, as in the coming forward of the sun. And the Medut, the hieroglyph, is the sun rising above the horizon for the term che. So the same two terms in ancient Kemet, ka and che, have the exact same definition in the Akhan language thousands of years later, but they have the exact same definition in the Hoodoo tradition, which is Akhan ancestral religion of North America. kanche, the other incantations to make the spirits come forth. So when we look at the different terms, whether it's kanche or undu, even the term jo, which means to lament or wail, and that becomes sho and shot and later shout. And when we dance in a counterclockwise circle and so forth, that's part of the Akhan tradition, moving around in the counterclockwise circle to create a vortex to draw the spirits down and so forth. We've been doing that for thousands of years, and we show that in Kemet as well. So another term is the term mojo. Now, when I was in Ghana, if you come in contact with somebody who is a Ghanaian, if they're like Nana Kofi, the term Nana means an elder or elderess. It's a gender neutral term. It means grandmother, grandfather, but it's an honorific title. It's the highest honorific title in society. So, and it's Nana's a low, high, pronunciation. If someone said, I'm Nana Kofi, and it's N-A-N-A, in English, people use the term grandmother, it's Nana, Nana so-and-so. That's a corruption of Nana, and then we find that in ancient Kemet as well. And the reason we make those connections is to show that we migrated, brought the same language, culture, cosmology, ritual practice, but also to show that we weren't, Africanizing words from Europe. When you look in the Bretuo, the hieroglyphs, and you see these same terms with the same cosmological foundations that still exist with black people in our blood circles in North America, it's an unbroken, tradition, an unbroken chain. And it's not about, we learned some words from Europeans, like conjure, and we just mispronounced them. Because you wouldn't be able to find kanche on the walls of Kemet 5,000 years ago, before Europeans had a language. So that's why we make that connection. So you have kanche, you have hoodoo or undu, but moja is another term. So
hoodoo, our ancestral birthrights, with the scientific quantists, we're able to really understand the mechanics of what's happening. And it gives us such a deeply rooted sense of power and activation so that we can move forward and spring forward and bring forth exactly what we are supposed to bring forth. Because everybody has something. Everybody is here for a purpose and has a gift or an insight or a part of the puzzle to add on to the cycle. So yeah, again, reflecting on the journey of the sun, how those scalar emissions, how they receive, when we receive them, how they regulate and interface with us and the earth womb, within the matrix of the house of the earth mother. And as an asamafo, as one who creates talismans and asumans, whether that be an Indu bag, whether that be, a necklace, or all of these things are created from the materia medica of the earth. And the earth is also continuing to receive that information. So part of what my work is as an asamanfo is to tap in, is to listen, is to put myself in a place of centering where I'm able to receive the communication channel and the relationship and then create a womb. An asuman, an Indu bag is a womb. It is a place that houses life where disparate elements come together, where they are unified, activated through sonic vibration, frequency, color, mineral, plant, and then once activated are brought to a person or given to a person that they then activate at their own shrine. And it is a living entity. So this work that we do, it is and has always been a really deeply spiritual science. And we all have access to it. Can you remember when you were a child and you were drawn to a rock or a leaf? Or you would look at nature or a tree, a lot of us have been taught to push that away, but those are our access points. Those are our access points of memory. And memory also connects to the mitochondria because memory, through etymology, is talking about water, memory, mitochondria, but all centering back on the divine mother and house of creation. I was going to show some slides, but the internet, there is an internet connection. So I'll just speak on what I'm writing right now. My book, the first volume of my book is out. It's actually titled Sybil Architects of Time, Rituals for Those Who Birth Spirit, because as women, that is what we're doing. We are birthing spirit all the time, all day. Whether it's emotional, whether it's through our menses, We are birthing spirit. That is why we must move, why we must come together, why we must connect and understand the power of the Divine Mother, and why the energy of the Divine Mother is so present within all of our pantheon. Even if it's not spoken about to this degree, even if it's not said, her image is seen. You cannot deny the mother. Without water, there is no life. And the mem is the memory, which is within, again, the mitochondria. So Sybil Architects of Time Volume 1 is out, and it's really a primer on entering this through the womb of Nana Akua, or Nepet, and how she, as the mistress of magic, and also, the Akuba doll, fertility, through her, and through her being able to bring those offerings and those gifts between realm, she has that connection not only to mothers, to fertility, but also to the other spectrum, to death, because we also are birthed through the other side, through the channel of death as well. So it's a primer, it's out, it's available now. You can come see me if you want to get into that. And if you have any questions, you can please feel free to ask.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Stop comments. I love your jewelry. I don't.
Yeah, amulets. I mean, they're jewelry,
Yeah,
amulets.
okay.
Thank you. And these are, I craft all of these myself, and it's all spirit led. So I made, like I've said before, I'll get different elements and put them together, but it's all directed and led by spirit. And you may know of orgone generators, which are it's our technology, because the first orgone generators were of Kemet. Within the structures of the shrines and the wooden boxes and the different layers of materials come together. But a lot of that is what I'm creating too. So a lot of pieces that I have on are orgone generating devices, but they're using different materia medica. So instead of using a resin, they're using clay, because that's a clay mother matrix to bring those things together.
Please talk to my friend. I'd love to take a class if you have one for that. If not, can I ask what kind of feathers you have?
This is a red tail hawk.
Okay.
I think they both are actually.
If I can talk about the period blood.
Sure.
So
The menstruum.
The menstruum. So when you talk about menstruum, first of all, do you work while you're on your menstruum, or I don't know how you?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And see, there's such a taboo, right, and fear around our menstruum and our menstrual blood. But when you think about the technology, think about when you're making a tincture, right? The solution is called the menstruum, because it's within that menstruum that everything's going to be able to be coagulated down and captured. So that's what is happening with the menstruum. It's a capturing and a release. So I highly recommend that we all are working with our menses and our blood and giving it back to the earth in ceremony and ritual.